Today we are going to start a very new unit that is cell cycle and cell, you can say cell biology. If you like the videos, please hit the like button and do subscribe because this really motivate me to bring more such kind of video because I am doing for you all. So your one comment, one subscription will definitely help me, right? Basically, it will motivate me. Fine. So let's move to the topic. Okay, so let's start with the cell biology. First, I'll be dealing with the basics of the cell, then we will go in detail, right? Okay, so if we discuss about cell, everyone knows, right? Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. That means cell is something which forms the structure and it is the functional part of life or functional unit of life, right? We all know that groups of cells basically is a structural and functional unit of life, but when cells groups together, these groups of cells basically form tissues, right? Group of tissues form organs, group of organs from organ system, and group of organ system from organism. So this is how organism is made up of. If we see the basic unit of organism, it is basically the cell, right? So if we define cell is the structural and functional unit of life, right? Cell is basically group of cells from tissues, group of tissues from organ, group of organ from organ system, and group of organ system from the complete organism, right? Now let's move to the history, that is discovery of the cell. The scientist Robert Hooke, he discovered the dead cells. He discovered dead cells from the bark of oak tree. From the bark of oak tree, right? Then Antony van Leeuwenhoek came. He discovered the cell, but he discovered what type of cell? Living cell, right? So this type of question is very common for GATE because that if we talk about dead cells, the dead cells were discovered by Robert Hooke, right? And if we talk about living cells, this is discovered by cells in the living cell is discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek, right? Okay, so let's move to other part. If we talk about history of the cell, apart from Robert Hooke and your Antony van Leeuwenhoek, there are some more scientists who come up with some theories, right? So first we will see about Rudolf Virchow. Rudolf Virchow is basically a scientist who proposed that omnicellular e cellular. That means the cell exists from pre-existing cells. All cells are formed from already formed cells. That means new cells which are forming is from where they are forming. They are forming from the already formed cells, right? This is what Virchow told about, explained, right? After that, this is too very famous since from class 8 we are studying about cell theory, right? So cell theory was given by Sladen and Swan, and according to Sladen and Swan, all living organisms are made up of cell, right? And cell exists from the pre-existing cell. Clear everyone up to this? Okay. Now next we will see basically what actually cells, how actually cells are present, because we have seen some organisms which are having unicellular, some organisms which do not have cell, right? So we will see here is a complete chart for the classification of organism. So this is basically cells. This cell can be two types. Organism can be two types, cellular, acellular, right? If we talk about cellular, example will be of prokaryotes, eukaryotes. And in case of acellular, viruses and viroids are acellular, right? They do not have cell. They have just only the genetic material enclosed by a proteinaceous coat, right? But if we talk about prokaryotes, eukaryotes, obviously they are made up of cells, right? So if we talk about prokaryotes, prokaryotes have been classified into two categories, that is your archaebacteria and eubacteria, right? So archaebacteria, these are basically known as ancient bacteria. Why they are known as ancient bacteria? Because they are found, they evolved, you can see archaebacteria actually evolved fast. Then eubacteria, right? And these archaebacteria are found in extreme conditions. Extreme conditions like high salt, high pH, high water, right? So in extreme conditions, these bacteria are found, right? Okay, and the cell wall of archaebacteria is made up of pseudomurine, right? If we talk about eubacteria, this is known as modern bacteria. This is known as modern bacteria, right? And eubacteria, actually, the cell wall of eubacteria is made up of peptidoglycan, right? So this is all about your prokaryotes. Let's move to eukaryotes. If we talk about eukaryotes, this can also be classified as unicellular and multicellular, right? So if we talk about unicellular, that means it is made up of uni. Uni means one. Cellular means cell, right? These are those organisms which are made up of one type of cells, right? But if we talk about multicellular, these are the organisms which are made up of more than one type of cell, right? So example of unicellular will be your protista, right? Example of unicellular will be protista, and multicellular example will be your plantae, fungi, animalia. These all are made up of many cells. For example, if we talk about human, we have got nerve cells, we have got blood cells, which we call red blood cells, right? Also, we have muscle cells. So these are, you can see, these are many type of cell. Only I have taken few of them, right? So that's why we call humans are multicellular. Clear? Okay, let's move to next. Okay, if we see the components of the cell are basically plasma membrane, cytosol, chromosome, ribosome, right? These components are common. You can write common to both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, right? This is very common to both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, right? So the components of cell which are common to both prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells are your plasma membrane, right? Cytosol, chromosome, DNA. Plasma membrane, we all know it separates the DNA from, it separates the DNA, or it separates the cellular part from the external environment, right? Cytosol, you all know it is a what? Cytoplasm. What do you mean by cytoplasm? Yes, what do you understand by cytoplasm? You can write in the comment section. Clear? So now cytosol. If we talk about cytosol, this is what? This we call basically as cytoplasmic matrix, right? Chromosome, you all know DNA and proteins, right? Ribosomes, it is useful for protein synthesis. It is useful for protein synthesis, right? Okay, let's move to the difference between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cell. If we talk about cell wall, the cell wall of prokaryotes are made up of peptidoglycan, right? This is in case of eubacteria. But if we talk about archaebacteria, the cell wall is made up of pseudomurine, right? In case of archaebacteria, the cell wall is made up of pseudomurine. But in case of eubacteria, the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Next, eukaryotes. Animals do not have cell wall. In case of plants, the cell wall is made up of cellulose, but a little amount of hemicellulose is also present, right? If we talk about fungi, the cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin, which is N-acetyl glucosamine. The composition of chitin is your N-acetyl glucosamine. If we talk about nucleus, If we talk about nucleus, this nucleus is absent in case of prokaryotes. That means well-developed nucleus. Nucleus surrounded by nuclear membrane is absent in case of prokaryotes, but it is present in case of eukaryotes, right? Apart from this, if we talk about prokaryotic case, prokaryotes have genetic material lying naked in the cytoplasm. If I draw the prokaryotic cells, you can see here this is a cell, right? This is cell wall, this is cell membrane, and here is a DNA, right? And this DNA lies naked in the cytoplasm, and this type of cell we call they have nucleoid, right? But eukaryotes have well-developed nucleus, right? Okay, next move to the next slide. If we talk about mesosome, mesosome is basically the invagination of plasma membrane. In case of bacteria, the respiration takes place through your mesosome. It is basically, you can say, it is an invagination of plasma membrane. Invagination of plasma membrane helpful for respiration, right? So this is present in case of prokaryote, and eukaryotes of course do not need this, right? Because they have, in case of higher eukaryotes, they have a particular cellular organ, right? And in case of plants, you know, clear? Okay, so this is all about, this is absent in case of eukaryotes. Coming to ribosomes, ribosome in case of bacteria is basically 70S. Now what is this? S stands for? S stands for your Swedberg unit. This is a coefficient, sedimentation coefficient, right? Okay, 70S, if you further classify it, you will be getting 50 and 30S, right? 30S is further made, is 30S further contains 16S rRNA and 50S contains 23 and 5S rRNA, right? In case of eukaryotes, it is made up of 80S. 80S, if you divide it, you will be getting 60 and 40. 60S is having 28S, 5S and 5.8S rRNA, right? If we talk about vacuoles, vacuoles is basically for storage, right? It is absent in case of prokaryotes. It is only present in case of the plants, right? Peroxisomes. So what do you mean by peroxisomes? Peroxisomes contain certain enzymes. It basically contains enzymes for degradation of hydrogen peroxide, or you can say oxygen radical. So a peroxisome is present in case of eukaryotes. In plants it is present, and as well as in animals also present. In animals it basically helps in the degradation of, you can say, hydrogen peroxide, right? In case of plants it provides protection, or it helps in the, you can say, it helps in conversion of it helps, you can say that it basically helps in the conversion of sugar or oxidation of biomolecules, right? Coming to glyoxysome. Glyoxysome is absent again in case of animals. It is present in eukaryotes. Coming to cellular organelles. Cellular organelles, prokaryotes do not have any kind of cellular organelle. Cellular organelles are present in eukaryotes, right? Okay, next, this is what basically this is, I have, to give an overview of the cell, I have included this flowchart, right? This is what a cell without cell wall. When a cell do not have the cell wall, that means its cell wall is lost. In that case, we call this as protoplasm, right? And the gelatinous liquid that fills the cell, we call it cytoplasm, right? Cytoplasm basically contains cytosol and organelle. Cytosol, you know, cytoplasmic matrix, right? If we talk about organelle, organelle can be double membrane as well as single membrane, right? If we talk about double membrane organelle, example will be your mitochondria and chloroplast. And for single membrane, it is lysosome. Clear, everyone? Yes, so that's all about the basics of the cell cycle. We will be doing a short quick revision. After this class we will be dealing with the plasma membrane, then cell cycle, because I have got request for cell cycle. I'll be dealing it soon, so only I have started this unit, right? Okay, so let's move to the quick revision. Okay, if we see the quick revision, what we have learned this class. Okay, quick revision, right? What we have learned this class, right? Basically we have seen cell. Cell is basically your structural and functional unit of life. Structural and you can say functional unit of life, right? Cells, group of cells form tissues. Group of tissues form organs, right? Group of organs form organ system. Group of organ system forms organism, right? Next, we have seen that. Next, what we have seen is about history, right? Okay, the Robert Hooke is a scientist who discovered the dead cells from the bark of the oak tree. Then came Antony van Leeuwenhoek, who discovered the living cells. Who discovered what? He discovered living cells. Then came your Rudolf Virchow, who gave the statement omnicellula e cellula. Omnicellula e cellula. That means what? Cell exists from the pre-existing cells, right? Which states that cell exists from pre-existing cells, right? Next, what we have seen next is about cell theory. Sladen and Swan, they propose the cell theory, right? If we talk about cell, organism basically classified into two types, right? Acellular and cellular, right? If we talk about cellular, it is again divided into two parts. That is your prokaryotes and your eukaryotes. If we talk about prokaryotes, this includes your archaebacteria and your eubacteria, right? If we talk about eukaryotes, this includes your what? Eukaryotes includes your unicellular, multicellular. Unicellular is your protista, right? And fungi, plantae, animalia, all are your multicellular. These are what? These are basically your multicellular, right? Eukaryotes can also be classified into autotrophs and heterotrophs, right? Autotrophs are organisms which can synthesize their own food. And if we talk about heterotrophs, these are organisms which cannot synthesize their own food and they are dependent on autotrophs for food, right? Okay, so this is all about the class. Next class we'll be dealing with the plasma membrane. If you like the class, please hit the like button, do comment, because this will help me in knowing that my efforts are getting useful or not, right? Okay, then see you soon guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care everyone.